Oh boy, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. And today we are talking about Season 3, Episode 3 of Attack on Titan, Descent. And let's just go ahead and dig into this one. So allow me to point out that this episode begins with sort of a flashback where we see the moment that Eren plugged the wall way back in like Season 1. And we see it from the point of view of Reiner and Bert and Marco. And now, in the last episode, we did see Marco. The PV did show us that Marco was going to be in that. I'm glad they did, because if they didn't, I probably would have screamed when I saw Marco. Marco's a character who I grew pretty rapidly attached to, mostly because he was one half of my favorite ship of the show at the time, which was John Marco. And so whenever I see him now, it just sort of breaks my heart. And this episode in particular really killed me. Kind of ruined Reiner for me to a degree. Just made me dislike Bert all the more, and made me sort of more indifferent towards Annie, because Annie, I'm just sort of like, okay, yeah, right on. I mean, Annie at the very least was hesitant. Reiner's clearly damaged, but Bert is no warrior. We'll get into Bert in a second, but yeah, I just wanted to point out that Marco died for a stupid secret, and I am furious. Marco died because 3 people decided to play traitor for reasons that, I mean, hey, maybe they feel justified. Maybe this Zeke dude knows what's good and the people in the wall are totally evil, but really, Marco? I just have a hard time believing that Marco had to die for something as stupid as this. And Reiner's a terrible liar, by the way. Like, Marco, what you heard just now, we were just joking. Like, yeah, all right. Good, nice cover, Reiner. Jeez, man. Okay, it's hard to be rational when it comes to like my shipping heart, because obviously my shipping heart is just like, they killed Marco, they all need to die. But again, maybe they know something that we don't, because as far as I'm concerned, Marco died for no damn good reason. Like, when Armin asks later in the episode, like, why does everybody have to die, Bert? Like, what's that about, Bertholdt? And he's just like, oh, because. It's like, oh, okay. Okay. Now, here's the part where it could get dicey for certain people, but again, these videos are unfiltered, unscripted, and unprofessional, but this is the part where it's sort of unfiltered. And now listen, I try to kind of curve my swearing. That's just a personal thing. When I say unfiltered, I don't necessarily mean that I swear a lot in these videos. I mean that I just kind of speak my mind, unscripted, unfiltered, and Bert sucks. Like, not as a character. As a character, he's shockingly well written because he's a spineless loser. Bert has no sense of a warrior's pride that Reiner has. Bert sucks. Like, if I knew Bert, I would not like Bert. Like, even while we were friends, quote unquote, even while we were in the cadets, if I were like Armin or Eren or Jean or any of them, Bert's a wimp. Bert's a whiner, and he even says that in this episode, like, oh, I thought I would be whining, but no, I feel totally calm. I don't think Bert is confident right now. I think Bert saw his boy get hurt, and he freaked out. I think Bert's confidence isn't even his own. I think Bert's confidence is Zeke's confidence. I think he believes in Zeke so much. So this Zeke dude is so charismatic. This Beast Titan or whatever they're calling him is so charismatic that he is instilling confidence in Bert. I have every faith that Bert is gonna panic again, because that's what Bert does. Bertholdt helped kill my boy, and I'm pretty furious about it. Now, Reiner's the one who held Marco down, so you'd think that I'd be pretty mad at at Reiner for killing Marco, quote unquote killing Marco. Technically, it was a Titan, but still, they didn't help. And I would, except for the fact that Reiner is very clearly damaged. Reiner has, and I mean, we've seen this in the previous season. Reiner is very clearly damaged, and that's made obvious or I guess not the previous season, the previous part of whatever. Reiner is damaged. We know that based on his previous responses to stuff. There's a difference between Warrior Reiner and Soldier Reiner. Soldier Reiner is part of the cadets. He's a good dude. Soldier Reiner is the one who weeps over Marco, whereas Warrior Reiner don't give a damn. Warrior Reiner's out to kill all of mankind. He don't give a damn because that's what Zeke told him to do. Maybe this has something to do with, maybe Zeke has like a power Maybe that's like his power is instilling sort of confidence, or maybe he's just that charismatic. I don't know. He didn't seem charismatic. Zeke sort of came off like sort of a goofball. He's hard to read. I kind of like him. I kind of like Zeke. So I could definitely see why these two chuckleheads would like Zeke. But yeah, Zeke is interesting to me. I like just the fact that he was like he was like kind of like cool and calm and collected, and then he got super serious when he thought maybe these two weren't up for the task, and then when he goes to sip his tea, he has that like ow, oh God, like he just seems like he's walking this line between this almost like cult type leader and then this sort of goofball type character, and I don't know, I like Zeke. He reminds me of somebody. I don't want to say who, just in case I'm right. But yeah. Have they said who Zeke is? Have I not been paying attention? Because if not, it's kind of obvious who Zeke is. I feel like I know who Zeke is. Did they say who it is? I don't think they did. Whatever, moving on. Actually, before I move on, I do want to point out that the dark liquid actually gets a shout out in like the end or the in-between card when they cut to commercial. We see that Armin just refers to it as the dark liquid, I guess, or whoever the person jotting down the notes is. So it does indicate that wherever these guys all come from, Zeke, Reiner, Bert, Annie, it's somewhere where there is tea, because it's very clearly like tea. So wherever these pack of traitors come from, must be a fancy ass place. Traitors, traitors, traitors. I will say though, my boy Armin, he's too good for this world. He gave Bert the chance to speak, even though it was clearly a distraction tactic, but still, he certainly gave Bert more than Bert and Reiner and Annie decided to give Marco. Because Marco even has that line of just like, where are you guys going? We didn't even get a chance to talk it out, like before he gets eaten, which kills me. But at the same time, so he has that line of like, we didn't even get the chance to talk it out. Whereas Armin is genuinely like, Reiner didn't give us the chance to talk it out, nor do we even have the capability to talk it out with Reiner. But the instant that he does get that chance, he gives it to Bert. Sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained because I'm a little bit emotional right now. But he gives that moment to Bert, something that Bert, Reiner, and Annie would have never thought to give Marco. So I do feel like that says something, especially given that they're treating like the people on the inside like, oh, like we have to kill all of you, blah, blah, blah. Y'all seem a hell of a lot more like the monsters than the people on the inside of the wall. That's all I'm saying. Well, that and Bert's still a big old chicken, and I am fully expecting this boy to break because I don't think his confidence is genuine. I think it's totally misguided. I think at some point during these next few episodes, Bert's gonna friggin' break because that's what Bertholdt does. Whereas Reiner, I at least respect. Like Annie and Reiner, I respect. Bert, I have no respect for. Like Reiner even calls this boy out. This poor Bert. This whole video is just like crapping on Bert, but like Reiner even calls him out because Reiner doesn't say Bertholdt take off Marco's 3D maneuver gear. He tells Annie to take off Marco's 3D maneuver gear, not Bert. And later on he tells you us why, he tells Bert why. He doesn't tell us why, but he basically tells the audience he doesn't trust Bert. Bert has no resolve. Bert has no confidence. He trusts everybody else to do something. So I feel like his confidence right now isn't even his own. I feel like it's Zeke and Reiner's. Bertholdt is a big old chicken, big old coward, not a warrior in my opinion. Am I saying I'd be any better? Yes, but no, I'm kidding. No, I wouldn't. I'm a big chicken too. I get that. But Bertholdt just strikes me as just a spineless tool. Like he's being manipulated by Zeke. He makes Reiner do all the work, and that resulted in Reiner completely breaking down and Annie panicking. And like at least Annie showed genuine remorse for what happened. Reiner showed remorse. Bert just didn't give a damn. He just didn't want to get his own hands dirty. Bert ain't got no spine, as I've said in the past, and I'm glad that Reiner agrees. It's sort of like Pesci and Prosciutto. Like Pesci, but at the very least, I don't even want to compare Pesci to Bert, because that ain't fair to Pesci. If you don't know who Pesci and Prosciutto is, y'all need to watch more JoJo's. But yeah, my boy Armin gave Reiner way more of a shot than he needed. And then things kind of hit the fan real fast. I don't think Hanji's dead. Because they kind of imply like Hanji's squad was in. I don't think they'd kill Hanji off like that. It just doesn't seem quite right. I will say, Colossal Titan not looking so hot. I mean, he never really looks hot, but the CG was kind of a little bit rough this go round. I will point it out when it comes up. I do think the CG was a bit rough, but nothing that like took me right out. Like I was still like, oh, okay, that I can tell that's CG. Not that I mean, most times during Attack on Titan, I can tell when it's CG, but that time I was like, okay, that's a little bit rough. From farther away, it looks fine. Up close, there's a shot where I'm like, that looks like it came straight out of the game. Which reminds me, I've never played the game. I should probably do that. Speaking of game, though, apparently next week's episode is called The Perfect Game, which is unsettling, and we definitely see like there may be some casualties. If Erwin goes in the next episode, I am going to scream. If I lose anybody besides Bert, because Bert can die, I'm gonna scream. Even Reiner would make me upset. Like, I don't want to lose anybody. I feel like there's no possible way we escape this arc without somebody dying. I don't necessarily know who it is. I don't want anybody to die. I love all these damn characters too much now. I feel like Neo, where it's just like, you can't die. I love you too damn much. If anybody remembers that quote from Matrix Reloaded, congrats. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how to end the video beyond saying Bert sucks, and I hope Bert's the only character who dies, because I don't want anybody else to die. By the way, manga readers, don't spoil me. I will cry if you do. That's the best I can do. What a weird ending to this video, but yeah. I don't know what to expect next week. I'm just scared. And who knows, maybe Bert will turn out to impress me. Maybe Bert's actually genuinely confident. Maybe next episode he's gonna surprise me. Who knows? What I do know is that that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, then by all means hit the like button, sharing the video. Those would be super rad of you. And if you'd like to stick around, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and turn on that bell notification to join the good ones. And of course, as always, I have to give a big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier. Omner Garamond, Veridin, Tristan, No For Nothing, Urza, Caden Fate, Gabriel, Dominic, Sipco Games, and Opinionated Slime. Thank you guys once again for watching, and until our next meeting, stay rad and don't scary.